Hey, everybody. Welcome to the In Case You Missed It version of Impact is Here. It's the Impact Grand Opening, ribbon cutting, our opportunity to say, we're here, we're ready to serve, we're ready to work with your organizations. And so we want to share more about Impact with you, because we know some people couldn't join us today. Let's get started with a few introductions. You're probably wondering, who are you here with? Tell me more. We'll get to all of the things. My name is Natri Jones. I use she, her pronouns. I'm living in the state of Georgia right now. I am the co-founder and chief operating officer at Empact Work. I'm going to toss it to you, Travani.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. I'm Travani Mackey. I also use she, her pronouns, live right outside of Nashville, and I'm the co-founder and chief program officer at Impact Work. Excited to toss to my teammate, Monica.
Hi, everyone. My name is Wanika Jackson. I'm coming to you from Griffin, Georgia, right south of Atlanta. I am consultant here at Impact Work, and I'm excited to pass it on to my lovely teammate, Naya.
Hi, everyone. My name is Naya Robertson. I as well live outside of Nashville. I'm so happy that we're doing this. I'm so happy to be here. And I'm going to toss it back to Natri.
So you're here to learn about impact. I think it's important in that conversation to talk about the fact that we didn't just dream this up last night. We've been on this journey together for over a decade. Travani and I met over 10 years ago. Time is flying. Lots of evidence of that these days. And we've connected over time and worked on what we now have here and are bringing to life, which is impact. And so, yeah, Travani, we've been on this ride, right?
Yeah, we connected at that national nonprofit and been vibing ever since, but it feels like I've known you forever, Natri. I think I can't count how many meetings that we added to our calendars when we didn't even work together just to process and learn. I've loved hearing your stories about your journey as a manager and sharing my own and trying to get a sense of how do we get this right? I think it matters to both of us that we take care of people. So we should fast forward to the obvious question of what is impact and why are we here? I'll toss back
Yeah.
to you.
Yes. Why impact? What do you mean? Impact with an E. Okay, we'll go with it. But the reason why is because we think that the reality is like lots of organizations are focused on impact with an I, right? What's your goal? Are you meeting it? Um, and they're not taking their eye off of that. And what we're saying is when people are disengaged, right? When people are leaving the organization, and why some people might be staying and some people might be engaged, you're asking why. You're thinking about it, you're focused on it, you're unpacking and uncovering what could be the cause or the reason. And so we believe that three things have to be true in order for you to achieve impact. We believe there are certainly some knowledge and skills that have to be true, right? You got to build some skill, you got to learn some things. There's also a set of beliefs or values that should be pretty observable and clear to people that you should be using to guide your work and how you approach your work. And we also know that systemically, there are things that have to be repaired, maybe policies, maybe systems and how you approach performance management. Spoiler alert, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But we believe that when those three things are true, that people will feel developed, people will feel cared for, and people will feel successful. That's where you find impact
That's impact with an E. And we
with an
give
E.
we give brownie points around here when people catch that because our work is really about the combination of empathy and impact. And Natri says all the time people are chasing impact with an I and they're leaving out that people centered heart work that makes people feel safe to make mistakes, to get it wrong, to try again, to try something really hard they've never done before. That requires deep understanding and care for people. And so we're excited to bring impact to you all so that we can do that alongside you every day. So let's talk about our big picture mission for a minute. We believe that impact means two things. It means we're centering and placing our bets on managers. More often than not, when you ask people about their career trajectory and the idea of going from an independent contributor to a manager, you'll see at least one person go, no, thank you. No, thank you. I know I'm talented and I'm smart, but I don't want to manage people. I don't want the politics that comes with it, the heaviness of that. And we miss out time and time again on great talent who could be creating a really powerful work experience for your staff. Great managers are powerful if they have the tools and the environment supports leading with empathy. They do crazy, amazing things with their staff. And so if we take care of those managers, then they take care of your people. And the second thing that we believe is true about impact is everyone deserves a great manager. It's not in isolation. It's not okay to have a handful of managers here and there who are getting it right, right? Where their people are like, I'll do anything you need me to do. I'm here until I decide to do my next thing. We believe that for a lot of people, work sucks. People go home at the end of the day and go, ugh, I'm exhausted. I don't have capacity to have a life outside of work because work took all my life, right? That can't be true. If we solve this, we do believe this work can be transformational. So if you're a people manager and you're sitting in your people expertise, please don't dismiss how transformational you can be in your work. We're really excited to be a supporter of that. I want to give an opportunity for our wonderful teammates to chime in here and talk about their connection to the mission. We decided that Natri and I could do this solopreneur thing and really just support clients to the extent that we can. But it was clear to us from the very beginning that we want our internal team to feel everything we just said about our client work. And so, Juanica, I'll toss to you to share a little bit about your connection here.
So I come to Impact very thrilled and elated to be a part of this team because I know what it feels like to go to work every single day, working around the clock, and to have a manager that did not see me, did not value me. I was just another person. And as soon as life began to happen and things were not going according to plan, I was out of a job. This person never acknowledged the work that I put in or who I was as a person or what I was trying to do. And because of my health being on the line, they would rather just toss me to the side and get someone else. And it was not until I was able to get a manager where I realized, like, oh my gosh, management can actually be life giving to you. When you have someone who acknowledges who you are, helps you to be able to identify your strengths, your talents, your passions, supports you, cheers you on along the way, and make sure that they are developing you and that they're creating an environment where you can continue to thrive and grow at your own pace. That's great management. And that's what I have here at Impact and why I'm so elated to be a part of this team.
Well, I wanted to, and I'm super happy to be a part of the Impact team because we all have our own personal stories about, our experiences in the workplace and how we've been treated, how overlooked we felt, how small we felt. And of course, those feelings can lead to being hurt. Um, I think that one of the things that I'm most appreciative of here at Impact is that we practice what we're teaching. I feel seen, I feel set up for success, and I feel as though I can thrive in my workspace because of the type of managers that I have. I think that when you're given certain tools to succeed, it it means a lot, but when you are given those tools through empathy, it takes it to a whole nother level. And I'm just grateful that I'm able to be here at Impact.
Ooh, y'all caught me off guard.
It's like, wait,
I,
what?
I don't think I knew what examples you might share, but those feel right, right? Like that's what we're here for, and appreciate you both chiming in.
And I,
Not anything you'd add, yeah.
yeah, I just want to underscore what you said, both Naya and Wanika, about having these experiences where you don't feel seen, you don't feel set up for success, or you can see that it's different for other people, right? You see other people being set up for success. You see other people going to the conference, and when you ask for those things, you're met with question marks or a different experience for lots of different reasons that make you question yourself. Naya, what you brought up about impact and practicing what we preach essentially means a whole lot to me personally, because I think, you know, I've worked in organizations and have been a part of different experiences where we were saying one thing but doing another. And so it matters to us at Impact that we really lean heavily into both of these things that are listed here. The belief that managers are truly talented people, and have a tremendous responsibility, and there's so much that's possible when we're great, and every single person deserves this. They deserve to have a great manager, and so our ability to be able to provide that at Impact matters a ton, because it just helps us live it out with our clients.
Yeah, well said. Well said. I would say one last thought here before we hop to the next slide. That empathy is extended to our clients, right? I think it's important to call out the places we've sat with our managers who weren't quite meeting the bar. We don't hold them that way. Like, we don't judge them for the missed opportunities, but we look for those places where a competency needs to be deepened, or there's a space where we can build a skill, we can address the system issue, and that will allow that manager to overcome that hurdle. Half the time, people aren't able to access real impact because they feel judged for the things they don't understand, they don't know. And if we're honest, we realize nobody's had a model, right? It's rare that you run off and have the best experience at work every day. That's not the case. Gallup says 70% of your engagement experience is about your manager. And so we've got to find ways to make sure managers feel their power. And that's what we do in our services. So let's hop to the next slide. So 3 layers here. I'm going to start on the far right side. We start with training. We find that this is a good fit for most of our clients who are thinking, as Naya mentioned, about the tools. Our managers need some tools. There's not a lack of care across management teams in the organizations we work with. They care a whole lot about getting it right. That care doesn't always come across because they're missing some tools, some frameworks. Our 100s are a perfect fit, not just for new managers, but for people who have decided, wait, I got promoted, I have this manager job, but nobody talked to me about what it means to be a manager. What does it mean to go from a peer to someone who does your performance review? What are the tools? And so we talk about how to build trust and set expectations in the 100s. The 200s is the level up. That's our favorite because we're coaches at heart here at Impact. But we love the idea that if you understand how to set people up for success, you also get an opportunity to push them and let them see the potential that you see in them that maybe they aren't aware of yet. So we talk a little bit about how to build coaching plans and build that growth relationship with your staff in the 200s. The 300s are about team leadership. It's wonderful if you're a manager of an independent direct report, but you aren't managing other people at the same time. That's a great place to be. And then very often you see you've actually got a team of people, and their one-on-one relationship with you is important, but not as important as the relationship they foster with one another. Getting that team rowing in the same direction is hard, and that's what the team leadership suite is about. The 400s are important to us because, as we named in our mission statement, everyone deserves to have a great manager. Everyone, not just people who look like you, who went to the school you went to, who use the same performance management, project management tools as you, everyone. And so if you're not doing that DEI identity work, you might miss the chance to inclusively lead. And so we pause there to talk about how our biases affecting who we give access to success to. And so that suite is very helpful for all staff, but definitely for managers. Our 500 suites are specifically for those heads of talent, chief people officers, and sometimes the entire leadership team can walk through our talent strategy sessions. We're talking about how you decide your value proposition for staff and then how you back it up. What is the policy? What are the tools? What are the ways of working that allow people to walk away saying, I know what success looks like here. I know how my compensation works. I know how hiring works. And they're very clear on how that all rolls up to this being a great place to work. So I spend a lot of time talking about training because it's really an entry point for a lot of our clients. But the minute I have the tools, I've got to apply them. And that's where coaching can be incredibly beneficial. If you're thinking about, okay, I learned this thing, but I keep hitting a wall every time I try to use it. One of our favorite sessions on empowering feedback is a good example of that. It often comes up in our coaching calls that people are saying, I think I'm giving good feedback, but maybe not. It's not landing. I'm trying to give some upward feedback. It's not landing. Those coaching spaces allow you to process what you're experiencing on a day-to-day and really translate that into action. So we unpack in our executive coaching suite some space for the leader to just understand how they're showing up. Who do I want to be as a manager? Is it resonating, and why? And what we love to do when we find those executives who are like, all right, I'm here, I'm ready for the thing, is to lead that entire cohort of the leadership team through a coaching scope. And what we love about that is it's important to make sure you all are rowing in the same direction. We've seen so many times where people don't know their leaders are engaging with an executive coach. They have no clue. They don't know what you're learning. And we often run into conversations about trust, healthy conflict, and finding places for the team to do some inclusive decision-making in our cohort coaching service. And then lastly, as I think Natri stated so beautifully earlier, if we don't fix the system, it doesn't change anything. You may have been that really passionate manager who's trying to set expectations and give good feedback, who's checking their biases and trying to understand where you're getting it wrong. But the performance management system at the end of the day is what it is, right? Like that can't be true. And so we redesign performance management in a way that centers the four things that matter. They matter to every organization. They're just usually not explicit enough. And so we pause, we talk with your staff to see, what are they experiencing? What does success look like in your organization? Let's define it and make it easy to use. Too often performance management systems really get a hard time because it takes so much of your time and energy. It doesn't have to be this hard to be honest with people about their impact. So we redesign performance management systems. And then in our people operations design, we do a bit of a talent audit to get a sense of what's your value proposition, right? Are you able to attract and retain talent? Is it working? Why not? How is performance part of that, right? What are the other ways where you're setting your managers up for success so they can say, no, it's not just I've got your back, but this is what we do here. All managers here are operating in the same way. So that was a mouthful. You can certainly go to our website and find more detail on each of these pieces.
Let's cut the ribbon. We're excited to cut the ribbon at Empact.
It's time to come together. Are you doing a little dance with us? You should be, because there's this world where people don't hate their job anymore. What? Chief people officers have a go-to resource for training. We're excited. Thank you for joining us in our ribbon cutting ceremony. Welcome to Empact.
Excellent. Welcome to Empact. We are here ready to support you and your team. Thanks for joining us or watching this replay here. Follow us. You've seen us launch on LinkedIn, hopefully, maybe Facebook. Maybe the posts made their way over to Facebook, or maybe a friend told you that you need to be following us. Follow us, keep up with us. We'll be releasing resources to support you on your journey and hopefully to make your work easier. You can also use the other QR code that you see here to subscribe for updates. And we promise to make sure that those updates are worth your time and provide value. Thanks for joining us.